Welcome back to another video, guys. This is every Green Day album ranked, and this is going into the Hellemega tour. I just did a Weezer and Fall Out Boy ranked video if you want to look at that in the caption below. This is all 13 studio albums, no live albums, no compilations, no greatest hits, nothing like B-sides or anything. It's just all 13 studioized albums that they released out into the world. And, well, why don't we just get into this? At number 13, we have Dose. This is the worst part of the trilogy, just because, I mean, it's not all awful. There are a couple tracks that I do come back to every once in a while, and but yeah, there's many songs that I would rather never want to hear from my favorite band of all time. You know, you got F-Time, you got Nightlife, you got Makeout Party, Stop When the Red Lights Flash. It's all like dirty, disgusting music that I would not want to listen to from a band that I call my favorite band. It's a little embarrassing. Up next at 12 is Uno, which is the second best of the trilogy. I guess there are some songs that are decent. I like the first half, from Nuclear Family to like maybe like Let Yourself Go. Everything else is kind of like either or absolute garbage, like Kill the DJ I'm not a fan of, Troublemaker I'm not a fan of. Same with Oh Love, I hate that song. That's one of the most repeated songs that I don't know, I just can't stand it. So yeah, this one's not as good. It's better than Dose, that's for sure, but it's alright. It's embarrassing again. Did you expect? Number 11 is Trey. What? Oh, well, all the trilogy is out of the way, I guess. This is definitely the best one just because it has more highlights than Uno and Dose both do on the album, and I felt like there are definitely more songs that I can relate to and connect to and actually listen to off this album than Dose and Uno. And this one is like the best one, but not saying that it's entirely good. There are some ones that are kind of cringy, like Sex, Drugs, and Violence, and even like A Little Boy Named Train. It's alright. It's a decent album. You know, it's nothing I'd go back to all the time. But yeah, the trilogy's out of the way. There we go. Number 10 is Father of All. Now this is like the trilogy but upgraded. I like what they did. They kind of made their own party pop punk style in the way that they wanted to. I really enjoyed this album a lot. It's not lyrically their best, but I did like a lot of the instrumentals. I did like how quick it was, and I love the rainbow splatter vinyl that I own as well. So this album is really good. I think everything from this album ahead I would actually go back to and listen to willingly, you know. So here we go. At number 9 is 1039 Smooth Out Soppy Hours. Now there's a debate between this and Kerplunk, but I realized since I put Kerplunk in my car, I've been listening to that a lot more. But 1039 Smooth Out Soppy Hours, I love this album. It's very raw. It feels like basement punk, which is exactly what it is, basement punk. It's just Billy Joe talking about drugs, love, and money, right? That's what old punk was, right? 'Cause she's 2,000 light years away. At number 8, we have Kerplunk. I love this album. I appreciate it really a lot more now that I have it in my car and I'm listening to it a lot more. Who Wrote Holden Caulfield is probably my favorite track from there. It's really good. I love that song. It's super catchy and beautiful. 2,000 Light Years Away, Christie Road. It's got a bunch of fun tracks too, like My Generation and Dominated Love Slave. It's just a full fun / more emotional, kind of the blueprint for Dookie to come up. So I really like it. At number 7 is Warning. Now, it's very hard to put this at number 7, but the other 6 on top of it are definitely better. Sorry. Warning is such a good album, though. I will agree that it is underrated. It is definitely one of the most underrated Green Day albums of all time. It doesn't get the appreciation or listens that it deserves, you know? I mean, like, you got the bangers from it. You got Minority, Waiting, and Warning, you know? But you also got, like, Misery, Church on Sunday, Blood, Sex, Booze, Hold On. It's such a good album that you can't not love it. It's definitely, like, if vibey kind of spring vibe along with it too. It's definitely different than anything they've ever made, but I love it. At number 6 is Revolution Radio, and I remember when this first came out, Bang Bang had released, and I was like, holy crap, Green Day's back. No way, no way, no way. It's been after 4 years since a trilogy came out, and we got good music finally. And I was so happy this album had released. I went to the tour, got this shirt. April 1st, that was my first ever concert I went to, was Green Day's Revolution Radio. Like I said, got this shirt. I should have gotten that tour shirt, but that's alright, that's alright, that's alright. I love it. It's so beautiful, this record. I listen to it a lot. I have it on vinyl. So I really do listen to it a lot. It's beautiful. It's quick. You know, it feels like older Green Day, but in a modern era. I like it. Heading into the top 5, we have Nimrod. And I do have this also on vinyl. And if you want to see what it looks like, it's beautiful. Go look at my vinyl video on my channel. Anyway, this album is beautiful from the front to back, or from the first song to the last song, you know what I mean. There are no bad songs, no skips. Even though it's an hour long, it is not skippable. Every song off this album is so fun and full of glory. It has its own potentials in every song, and I just love every part of it. Although I do wish Good Riddance ended in that prosthetic head. I feel like it's a good outro to the album, especially if acoustic, but it's alright. They're all good songs. Can't wait for King for a Day Live. Number 4 is the most underrated Green Day album, Insomniac. Now this is like Dookie, but grunge. More grunge, more of kind of like a Nirvana turn. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is just full-on punk grunge. It is super cool. It's their shortest, well, I guess Father of All is their shortest now. But it was their shortest album for a while, and I love it so much. I just can't stop listening to it. It's one of those albums that I appreciate a lot after coming back to a lot of the times. This album is definitely beautiful, and it's one of their best, for sure. Throw up your arms into the sky. And at number 3 is 21st Century Breakdown. Now this album has a lot of nostalgic for me because this was the first album I actually got to appreciate seeing it release, you know. I was 5 years old and I was like, oh my gosh, Green Day is releasing a new album, you know. 21 Guns and Know Your Enemy were my anthems growing up, dude. Those songs were like the songs I had on repeat from that album. Same with Easiest Nowhere. Now appreciating it even more, you got Restless Heart Syndrome, Last Night on Earth, Viva La Gloria. It is such a beautiful record. The story ties in with Christian and Gloria. Like American Idiot, and then you get American Idiot 2, which is 21st Century Breakdown. Another beautiful masterpiece right next to American Idiot. It all keeps adding up. I think I'm cracking up. Am I just paranoid? But at number 2 is Dookie. I gotta say, this is my childhood album. This and American Idiot are both albums that I grew up with, like, listening to. I think these, if I had to say 2 essential albums from Green Day, it's American Idiot and Dookie. And Dookie was just the raw punk. This is the stuff that my parents grew up with, you know. Probably your parents grew up with, unless you're a parent, then you grew up with, you know. And just think of this, for those parents watching, it came out 27 years ago. How old does it make you feel? Let that sink in. But this album is so good. It's 45 minutes of just pure lovable punk that you just can't get enough. Sometimes I wish someone up there will find me. And number 1 is American Idiot. Now this album is everything you want from Green Day into one album. You got a mixture of the old, you got a mixture of a new kind of style as well, and you get the best lyrics you've ever heard from Green Day. The best emotional raw storyline you put in there, their heart and soul to put into an album like this, their political views against George Bush, everything you want. The production, the beautifulness of Billy Joe's voice, Trey Cool's roaring drums are softer even on Are We Waiting and She's a Rebel and Wake Me Up When September Ends. And Mike Dirnt's bass lines on like Jesus of Suburbia. Jesus of Suburbia itself is a 9-minute song, but it's 5 songs in one. And same with Homecoming, feels like 5 songs in one as well. You get that whole emotional storyline going through this whole album of St. Jimmy and Jesus of Suburbia, and you just gotta love it. It's beautiful. It's one of the best albums to ever exist in my opinion, and I love it. I will always forever cherish an album like this. American Idiot will not be beaten by any Green Day album to come out or that was previously released. This is definitely their best, and it'll be locked down at my number 2 album of all time, American Idiot. Thanks for watching my Green Day album rankings today. I also did a Weezer and Fall Out Boy one. I think I said at the beginning. I left a link in the bio if you want to go check that out. Thanks for watching.